Lycan, of course. What's up, guys? This is Mike Lurch. Going to be casting game number 2 from JDL Season. But BBC going to open up their draft in the same exact way. First pick, Faceless Void, then follow that up with a Death Prophet. So a little bit more pushing, perhaps. A couple more kills this game. Last game was it was a roller coaster. It truly was. So hopefully this game is going to be just as intense. EULS with the Lycan won't be really that prepared to stop it, but I mean, it's okay if you have one hero that can't counter push, right? EULS has spent their bans banning out Meepo, which I'm assuming BBC are well known for. I'm guessing. I'll just take mental note that yes, it's definitely their Meepo is what you got to be scared of. Oh, this guy's name was W33. I just saw Balkan Bears. I don't care. I'm just gonna call him Balkan Bears because that's just easier. Because how are you supposed to say W33? Like we? It's too late. It's too late now, guys. They also respect banned the Jakiro and EULS. Ooh, Shadow Shaman Lycan. So a little bit of pushing of their own. Not as much sustained push just yet. And EULS, a little bit more respect given towards the BBC side, banning out that Witch Doctor. It was a hero that was kind of in the back lines a lot of the time. He wasn't doing the flashiest plays. That was the Jakiro in the front. But that heal kept him alive and wasted so much of the EULS so much time of the EULS side just because they were trying to go for this quote-unquote soft hero. They were going for the easy kill. But he had 2 bracers, point booster. I don't think he had power tread strength, but he had level 3 heal by the end, and he just wasn't dying. You couldn't kill him. Or at least if you could kill him, it wouldn't be time efficient to do so. BBC, though, they had the Necrophos banned out from the last game. They're going to pick it up this game. And Necrophos is a little bit of an interesting hero. I mean, he's very similar to Pugna in how you want to lane him. Support Necrophos isn't a thing. Solo lane of experience is good, but he doesn't really have enough lane control to make that worth it. Maybe towards the mid lane, but then Death Prophet will be going side, which is still okay, but I think Death Prophet would like the levels more than Necrophos. I think just protected farm for the Necrophos, as EULS are going to have to stop that hero. A good amount of healing from that hero, and a lot of sustain. So similar to the Witch Doctor, though more front-liney. EULS, they're going to pick up a Dazzle, a little bit of healing of their own. Get a good combination with those wolves, and wow, speaking of healing, these guys really like their health. You can't really blame them. Health is kind of important in this game. But Abaddon is the pick for BBC, protecting that Necrophos. They're pretty much all in on these 2 int carries, which these are the classic textbook int carries. Necrophos, Death Prophet, or I guess the textbook says Necrolite because we haven't reprinted the textbook yet. It's the whole big process. You have to go through this Board of Education thing. But Necrolite, Death Prophet, those are the ones that if you let them get tanky, they will punish you severely. And Abaddon is just a hero that adds to that tankiness. Says you could have a little bit more straight HP, 250 into 200. That's just casual, almost 500 HP additional on your Necrophos to get that extra death pulse out. EULS currently without that much burst damage with the Shadow Demon and Dazzle pick, but a Tinker pickup. I like this pickup, and it's going to force BBC to play in a it's Weeha. Thank you, awful aim. Thank you, Weeha. I will make sure to keep that in mind. But yeah, Tinker, it'll force BBC to play in such a way that they have to shut down this Tinker. And with an Abaddon already picked up, that's not something that BBC really want to do. Abaddon's a very, I'm going to say, immobile support hero. He doesn't really like to leave the lane that much. He usually just is a pure babysitter. And against Tinker, you kind of want to have him shut down a little bit. 1v1 lanes, Tinker doesn't really have any terrible matchups, except for OD, which I don't think is going to be picked up from BBC. It might, who knows. But Tinker should be able to get a decently timed set of travels, and then any sustained pushing that BBC wants to do is going to be a little bit difficult, though Death Prophet is not really none of the heroes from BBC are heroes that summon things. They aren't the types to summon like Treants or Eidolons or anything like that and then use them to push. It's just the sustain that they have. It's the ultimate of Death Prophet that allows them to push, but mostly it's the sustain. So Tinker is going to be more reliant on missiles than March of the Machines to really counter push. Of course, March always clears out the creep wave, which is nice, but missiles to force people back, and we'll see if EULS could withstand this, because again, BBC, if they do take this late, they'll be up against a Lycan, which is not really which one have happened, though Faceless Void is a pretty good hero against that. EULS, if they get through this early game phase, then again, I think it'll be the same thing as last time. Disruptor, Abaddon, not really the most aggressive of support heroes, so EULS will be able to, kind of sit back for a little while, but then in the mid game, deal with Exorcism and Chronosphere, which is devastating. Having a Scythe on the field is always a little bit interesting as well. But again, EULS, they have the dire side advantage of Lycan, as well as Shadow Shaman. So, dropping into the Roshan pit really quickly and taking that Roshan is going to be something that EULS can do, especially if they get a quick medallion on someone like Dazzle. Then Roshan is going to drop really quickly. And then with the Bristleback pickup on top of that, get that additional tankiness in the front lines a little bit more early game, and makes that Roshan a little bit easier, seeing as though you could stack up that goo onto that Roshan. And that'll be that little bit easier for the Lycan and the Shadow Shaman to do their damage towards that big guy. So it's going to be a little bit of an interesting comp. We got Abaddon, Necrophos in the game, as well as a Dazzle, who isn't exactly the most common hero in the game. And, well, EULS at a certain point will be able to split push their way to victory. BBC kind of with more of a death ball lineup. The sustain from Abaddon and Necrophos, just being the fuel that they use to keep pushing the Death Prophet into the tower. Unfortunately, BBC don't really have any other pushing heroes, so the Death Ball is going to struggle somewhat at actually taking towers. Aside from, just constantly busting creep waves into the tower, they don't have anything to really push with aside from the Exorcism. They don't have a Jakiro or Liquid Fire or, Pugnablast or a Lycan Wolves or anything like that. So it'll be a little bit slow, but their Death Ball is certainly going to be a hard one to crack. They just have so much sustain, so many defensive skills, which means that EULS are going to struggle to get initiation off, and BBC will have that time to chip down towers, which is going to be their primary method of pushing outside of Exorcism and just going for it. So, we are in the game, and it wouldn't be a game without a proper pause, as Bale is going to pause a minute on his Shadow Shaman. But let's go over who's playing what. This is game number 2 of the Best of 2 series, so this is one way or another going to be it for this set. We got on the BBC side playing the Necrophos. It is going to be Padrinho, who played the Undying last time. It was dual lane, so it's a little bit sketchy, their roles still. Weehaw is going to be playing the Death Prophet, most likely heading towards the mid lane. Hockey once again on most likely the off lane. Void Levy going to be on the Abaddon support. His eyes are messed up in the portrait. And Zenigata is going to be playing the last hero, the Disruptor. On the EULS side, Pink the Shadow Shaman, as he jumps right into this game. It's going to be Bale supporting, as is Sylvos on the Dazzle. Ka is going to be on the Bristleback. Zella is going to be on the mid lane. Tinker and Eunice is going to be once again farming, this time as the Lycan. So EULS, a lot of this game is going to be in the hands of the supports. I mean, the sustained from BBC means that they're going to have to pick their targets very, very well. And that means you have to hex the right people. Or, I guess not the supports. Mostly just Bale. You gotta hex the right people. You gotta focus fire on the right person and bring him down quickly. Ideally, that would be Abaddon pre-level 6. Secondary would be Necrophos, since he's putting out a lot of sustain, and also he's fairly easy to kill when Abaddon isn't completely focusing him. But BBC, if at a certain point, like once Death Prophet hits level 9-ish, then Exorcism and just Doom Push is, I think, what's going to be on the menu. This is definitely a comp for BBC where they will probably want to take as many Necrobooks as they can. Like, Death Prophet's decent with it, the Necrophos is decent with it, hell, even Abaddon works with it pretty well. So, yeah, Necrobooks would seem like a pretty good option for them to go for. But, I don't know if they want to. I mean, it'll definitely punish the Tinker, so I think getting a Necrobook is definitely what they want to do, but at the same time, EULS, their pushing is pretty intense as well. I mean, they got the Howl, they have Wolves, they have the additional damage from the Serpent Wards from Shadow Shaman, and they have Zella on the Tinker just to keep everyone off balance, so that a serious, dedicated defense from the BBC side is going to be difficult to achieve, seeing as though it's like, oh, they're pushing top lane? Well, we also have to defend bottom lane, because Tinker's there doing Tinker things. So it's going to be a little bit awkward for the EULS side for the BBC side to defend. But at the same time, I don't think they're looking to defend. They're going to look to be the aggressor in most of the cases, except for the early stages, which is most likely just going to be dual lanes once again. A little bit interesting. Lots of sustain up on the top lane. Not as much on the bottom lane. It's a little bit of an awkward lane. Bristleback should be able to hold the fort down on bottom lane very, very easily versus the relatively low damage of Disruptor as well as Faceless Void. And if he gets help from Sylvos, then, well, that's just gravy. 0-minute rune, and is going to be a haste rune spotted out by that ward that Sylvos just placed. And, well, the haste rune is going to make things a little bit difficult for Ka to stay in the lane. And it will make things a little bit difficult for Zella. He's going to go for a fast bottle, not surprisingly. Weehaw is going to be doing the exact same thing on the other end. Dual lanes once again from BBC. Top lane, it's going to be very, very difficult for EULS to get this kill. Their sustained damage is not that high. It's mostly, can we kill them within the duration of a Shackle or a Hex? Because if they can't, then, well, they just heal themselves up and then they're completely fine. Bottom lane and mid lane is going to be where any kills happen, if at all. Already the haste rune with that Bristleback going to put some damage onto Sylvos. Very easy damage. The heal already picked up at level 1 by this Dazzle. And Ka's going to get a lot of poking damage without being able to push back. It is a little bit of an awkward situation, but, you know, dual lanes versus dual lanes. Don't really see this too often. But I still think it is the right thing for EULS to do. Make sure that they don't let this Faceless Void get an easy time. And, well, top lane's going to be pretty defensive, so EULS are going to have to do something about that. They're going to get semi-pull off. Yeah, they're going to get like a 2.5 or 1.5 pull off, but, wow, Padrinho and Levi, they're going to pull these waves off. So the 1.5 pull attempt from the Shadow Shaman Bale, it is ultimately going to fail. Unfortunately for them, they really need that to keep control of the lane. Eunice is not really ready to fight just yet. The Necrophos has gone for level 1 in the Heartstopper aura, which isn't really going to be doing much when he's not actually fighting people. But he will hold off. You will get that sustained damage on the relatively high HP pool of the Lycan in just a little bit. You know, once Lycan actually decides to step up. But aside from that level 1 value point in Heartstopper aura, it's definitely going to be Death Pulse, at least level 2 Sadist from here on out. Bottom lane, 8 for 2 versus the 4 for 0. Not surprisingly, the EULS side is going to have a slight edge in the bottom lane. Faceless Void not really prepared to fight early on as much as a hero like Bristleback, who could go, you know, from level 1. He could just be okay with a fight with that Quill Spray. If he gets that up a little bit too much, then it could be getting out of control for BBC really quickly. But now Eunice taking a lot of damage up on top side. And a pause. Of course there's a pause. Oh, well that would explain why. Because he kind of howled and then ran in and then ran back into 2 heroes, which isn't what you want to do. There we go. He's going to come back and realize that he is not in the best of places. I don't think there's any chance that he goes down here, but still. Actually, boots on the Necrophos. If there was 1 point in Curse of Avernus, I would say Eunice might go down here. But I think he should just be fine. Yeah, whatever. Taking a look back at the mid lane, Weehaw has 12 for 1 versus the Tinkers. I don't know why I thought he was in near the rune. 10 for 1. So still a very even lane. Tinker is going to be going for a March build, not surprisingly. And, well, it should be a wash for, you know, as a long amount of time. So bottom lane, going very well for EULS. Mid lane's a wash. Top lane is 2 for 0 versus 10 for 1. Eunice struggling up against this passive harassment of both the Abaddon as well as the Necrophos. Hell, Necrophos could be put up here alone, and for the most part he would be relatively fine until the aggression really starts coming from EULS. But level 2 Shadow Shaman isn't going to put any pressure on anytime soon. Needs Hex, needs a little bit more in the shock if he really wants to get a kill to burst one of these heroes down, which is what you got to do. Zella with an Invis Rune going to head back towards the mid lane. No stacks are going to happen just yet, so Tinker not going to get that emergency contingency plan. I don't think it's going to bother him that much since the lane isn't that hard, but still, it's better to have it than to not have it. I mean, these dual lanes can't really afford to lose with their supports, else, you know, else everything just runs wild and things get a little bit awkward. But I still think pulling would be the best way to optimize this. I mean, I obviously would, because pulling is good, but Bale's actually going to move down towards the mid lane. It's going to be a little bit of a difficult kill on Death Prophet. If they catch him within the March, it will be okay, or they could catch the Courier. Courier can be upgraded to fly, though. Bale needs 2 hits. There's 1. Needs 2. The Courier's going to go down. And the Shackle onto Balkan Bears. Bale taking tower hits, though. He's going to go down first. That's going to be first blood. Weehaw is going to try to book it out of there. The bottle keeping him alive. Zella will bottle and keep himself alive as well. But the first blood has been claimed. Weehaw is going to find that one. They lose the Courier, though. I think it's mostly a wash. I mean, Weehaw, obviously, with the levels and the first blood goal is going to be really happy about that. But now this is going to shut down bottle crowing for another 2 minutes, and well, against a Tinker, it's not exactly a fun lane to be in as Death Prophet. It's not the worst lane, but it's not sunshine and rainbows everywhere. So 1-0, BBC get on the board. Unfortunately, Shadow Shaman, if he wasn't sitting in that tower for that shackle, well, then they might have been able to get that kill, because he would have been able to put more damage onto Weehaw instead of having to run away. So, you know, not the best series of events, but getting a courier kill this early on in the game is certainly something to be happy about. Other than that, though, much more passive start, and I think for a good amount of time it's going to be a little more passive. The mid-game Death Ball of BBC needs a couple more levels to get going. Death Prophet needs at least level 7 to really get going, and level 9 is ideal. Of course, level 11 would be even better, but I don't think they have that much time to wait. And Eunice is not farming the best on this top lane, even with that Howl. And Levi as well as, I don't know if it's Levi or Levi. Stupid attack on Titan. Thinks it's Levi. Or making me think it's Levi, so there's that. Once again, we have Vale moving towards the mid lane. We saw what happened last time. If they catch Weehaw within the march, they'll be able to take him down. But if that's not the case, then there's no way they have enough damage with only 2 level 1 skills. Actually, 4 level 1 skills. Or, I guess, 3 level 1 skills. To bring down a Death Prophet who's level 6, that's not going to be enough. And still for EULS, the bottom lane is going as well as they can hope for, but they have to worry about this Necrophos, because he's almost at that level 6 mark as well. Usually, you know, Lycan relies very heavily on Shapeshift to help him escape. Shapeshift usually happens at, you know, he's going to pop it and Panic Run. If they can put any damage at all on him, then Scythe is going to be such a blowout. Like, you annihilate that Lycan while he's shapeshifted or whatever, and, you know, you first of all mean that Eunice can't split push as nearly as well as he would like to. Second of all, it just means that he's going to have to respect the Necrophos, you know, play his distances very well and, you know, not dive with the Vlad's Lifesteal aura that usually Lycans do like to do. Lycans like to do, yes. But this game is actually really boring compared to the last game. I mean, last game was huge. That was like, we would have like 10 kills by now. This game, what the hell? And top lane's being pushed out, and nothing really that Bale could do about the top lane push. Weehaw, though, going to go for a kill onto Zella. Will he get the read right? He's going to miss on the Crypt Swarm. He's going to see the double TPs. Will back off. Well played by Zella. Bale's going to TP in. Smoked up. And Weehaw should be aware of this one. If he's not, I mean, he definitely knows that someone TP'd in. In the meantime, Lycan is getting roughed up by birds. How the mighty have fallen, dying to tiny little birds. He's fine, though. He's going to work his way towards his Vlad. Still, the EULS side have their dire side advantage, though. It looks like it's going to be Zenigata, who's level 4 versus level 4 Shadow Shaman. Well, they're going to pass each other. And, well, Zenigata is going to put up the kinetic field and put a lot of damage on Bale. Look at that value. These kobolds, they know what's up. They definitely know what's up. Padronho will take down the top tier 1 tower in the meantime. No points to Sadist, actually. He's just going to go all in on the Heartstopper aura, it looks like. He's level 6 with the Scythe, of course. And Mech will be the next purchase. I think, you know, you got to have at least one in Sadist, right? Get value off of Reaper Scythe kills or whatever. I mean, Heartstopper aura early on is not the most impressive seal in the game, but, you know, Weehaw is already going to lay down that Exorcism and try to take down this tower. 1 tower down is pretty nice for the BBC side, but 2 is even better. Missiles laser on Death Prophet. Needs a shock, but he's too quick with those phase boots. That Death Prophet and the Witchcraft also helping out. Exorcism not restoring him to full HP, but that's fine. He's more than happy to take the damage that he got in the tower and then just back off. Soul Ring on Zella means no travels for just a little while longer, but again, I don't think travels are going to be a huge deal. It's more about defending yourself as Faceless Void somehow kills off Dazzle on the bottom lane. Soul Chronosphere was used. My bad, guys. Saw Zella's HP pool drop. Not as much as the Dazzle. Great. 2 kills and I already missed 1. Cue sad trombone. But Faceless Void could get the kill on the Dazzle. Can't really get a kill onto Bristleback, who has stacked up quite a few Ancients, is actually going to clear them off himself. I don't mind this decision that much. Usually I would say you got to save them for the Tinker. But Tinker, he doesn't really need a Blink Dagger travels extremely quickly this game. Hex onto Levi. Can they get the shackle? They will. Very long range. Laser missiles onto Levi. Will shield himself. Does not have his ultimate though, so he will go down. EULS get on the board. And, well, they're going to take that kill home. But the bottom lane, in the meantime, is pushing. Travels, I thought that was Travels. They should immediately make it so that Travels only have that animation instead of all TPs. It's a little bit disorienting. But regardless, a kill is a kill. Eunice is going to get a little bit more space in the top lane, as well as defend that push from that onslaught of BBC. Again, the sustain is really high, and, well, they're going to get a tower regardless. Abaddon's going to teleport in so that Weehaw could just tank this tower if he wants to. And, hell yeah, he wants to. Bale, unfortunately, without the damage to hit that tower for its last. And now Bale in a little bit of trouble, actually. One more hit, and the shield pops with the Crypt Swarm. That'll be a death onto Bale. He could Hex, and then book it. No, don't go in. Well, I don't think it really would have mattered. Silvos is in, but there's really no one to cut off Weehaw. He's going to pop the Exorcism, and Silvos, he's going to drop a sentry, but he can't really do much. Shallow Grave TP, that's about all he could hope for. Weehaw will not get the kill, and he's going to continue, being around. He's going to get another swarm onto Zella. Laser, maybe, will be enough. Well, the tower will certainly bring him down. Dazzle. Yeah, I mean, Death Prophet diving a tier 3 at this stage in the game. Maybe a sign of things to come, as the aggression from BBC with the EULS Scepter almost completed on the Death Prophet. Looking like it's going to happen sooner and sooner. Level 4 Witchcraft, level 1 Exorcism. Unfortunately, that Exorcism will put it on cooldown for another minute. So EULS get a little bit of a reprieve. For Shadow Shaman to hopefully get level 6 would still be a devastating skill to pick up. If they could get that, acting as another secondary tower would also open the door for them to start their pushing. And Lycan, not yet with their Vlad, so he's farming very, very slowly, this Lycan. And Vlad's is up when the courier decides to get back. And now Khan in a little bit of trouble. Has a Vanguard, though. So I don't think he's really in that much trouble, unless there's a Chronosphere. Todd could turn this one around. There's a Chronosphere, and Hockey, you got to hit him from the front, man. There you go. Ka will go down. The Vanguard helping, but not quite enough. The mech will be purchased up by Necrophos, and with Weehaw down in this bottom lane, I think it's time for that Death Ball to slowly start going. Bale looking for that level. Oh, yeah, she does have a level 6 mark, so never mind. Death Ball was not going to keep going because, well, top lane's continuing to be pushed in. Zella going to get a little bit of farm from that one, but in the meantime, that means that they can't defend this bottom lane. And BBC, they're just going to, well, split EULS' resources. It feels at this point as though EULS are playing with only like 3-4 heroes. They simply can't mobilize enough heroes to make these defenses happen. Weehaw's another Exorcism up in 5 seconds, and the Creep Wave's going to get annihilated before that even happens. So Exorcism, I don't even know if they want it right now. I mean, top lane is taking some chip damage. Again, their sustain is not only helping their heroes to survive any possible ganks, but also it's helping the Creep Wave just get sustained. A Death Pulse here, a shield on the Catapult there, means that the Creep Wave is, first of all, going to take more damage, but also, deal more damage at the same time. Tier 1 tower looks like it will go down. Levi going to try to get in on there for a deny, perhaps, but into Serpent Wards, not really what you want to have happen. But here comes Weehaw with the EULS Scepter. Eunice has got a book. It doesn't have a TP scroll either. The Courage flying all over the place. Tier 1 tower does go down in the mid lane. Tier 2's still up, and, well, they're slowly dropping for the EULS side. Never thought it would be just such a concentrated dual lane from this Abaddon Necrophos combination, but level 4 Death Pulse with the additional heals from the shield as well as the coil. I mean, that sustain is intense. And EULS, I mean, they are itemizing correctly so far, I think. Boots of Travels are almost up on the Tinker. Lycan should be going for Power Treads into, I believe, just a Necro Book. You got to get as much early game as you can. I mean, heck, the BKB would be nice and everything, but against Chronosphere and Exorcism, it won't really be doing enough. Of course, Shadow Shaman has absolutely nothing, because that's what Shadow Shamans do. The Mask of Madness up on the Faceless Void, going for the exact same build as last time, and, well, Weehaw's going to run straight into Silvos. It's not on to the Weehaw, and Hockey going to catch only Ka with that Chronosphere. It doesn't matter, though, because Exorcism with Chronosphere is pretty ridiculous. EULS Scepter now up on Tinker, does not have a Blink Dagger, only has Travels. Will get Shallow Graved, and he will get himself out of there. No, he got glimpsed back, actually. Zella is going to die just barely, and they take off the Dazzle as well. Here comes Eunice with that Wolf form, but he can't really get a beat onto anyone. He's just going to book it. He's at 20 HP. He should be able to survive, although with the Haste on Death Prophet, she really wants this kill. Eunice is going to try to run around in the fountain. Crypt Swarm will not hit. It's actually going to be Shadow Shaman who tried to do something alone. And, well, yeah, Weehaw dove all the way to the fountain this time, which is, it's pretty cool, 13 minutes in. This game is looking a lot more cut and dry than the last game, which was a little bit more fighting from both ends, but, oh, kill the items! No, it was close. I don't think he killed anything. But Weehaw, with Exorcism in another minute, Chronosphere not up, I think they might have to pull back just a little while longer. I mean, they have sentries everywhere. Look at that value. And, well, they could jack some creeps or take a tier 2 tower or something like that. In the meantime, Padrinho, he's just up on top lane, doing his own thing. He doesn't give a damn about any of this. He's just getting farm. He's going for what looks like an Aghanims, though could be Bloodstone. Either way would give him a lot of bulk. And EULS right now, they just need a kill. They just need an kill. Because they're going to lose their creep stack, their ancient stack. And, well, they're going to get one on top lane. It looks like Missiles, Laser, still not that many levels. Mech up from Necrophos. Has a TP, but he can't really afford to use it. There's the Hex, as well as the Shackle with the Wolf body blocking. Can they kill off this Necrophos? They should be able to. Shock, Laser, Wolf damage, Shapeshift not up, but the damage is just barely there. It took them that long to kill off that one hero. Shadow Shaman has his wards up, so they're going to be looking to take down a tier 1 in addition, but now caught in a little bit of trouble, will get put into the kinetic field, and now Hockey going to jump right in. The damage is intense. Levi gets his borrow time triggered from something, I don't know what. Maybe just a random cool spray, but it is a death on the Bristleback, and now TP down, or up to the top lane, and the tower does get destroyed. These Serpent Wards are so broken because they shoot the wrong way. It's a 1-for-1, and well, EULS can't really afford to be making these trades right now. They could start looking for Roshan, maybe if they could sneak it, but they don't have any map control right now. If we take a quick look at their ward coverage, it is non-existent. That's how quick we have to look. And they're going to de-ward a little bit, but they will not be able to sneak Roshan very safely. If anyone from BBC gets wind of this, then this Roshan is going to be shut down so quickly. And Lycan, with the Vlad's power treads, is okay. He's capable of soloing the Roshan, especially with Sylvos throwing out heals from the high ground. He doesn't have a medallion. He doesn't have any big damage items yet. And this is a relatively slow power treads Vlad. So it's going to be a slow Roshan, especially if BBC are anywhere near this, which it looks like for now they don't know about this. So Roshan will be cleared off by the Lycan. And BBC, there's no reaction from them. So well done to EULS. They get themselves a little bit of fresh air in this game as they, well, eventually, soon enough, take down Roshan. There you go, got him. Aegis up on Lycan. Now you can play a little bit more YOLO. Because it's actually not true. You actually live twice when you pick up the Aegis. It's true, guys. It's true. Alright, so here comes the Death Ball, I think. Although Faceless Void is a little bit late to the party. And Levi has maxed out on his survivability skills. Weehaw has level 2 Exorcism, of course, maxed out the Witchcraft a good deal, a long time ago. And now just, poking at shield because it's free HP. Have Death Pulse at the ready. Have Coil at the ready. He has more shields. Why not? Backdoor Protection making things a little bit difficult, but they really don't want to use Exorcism just yet. Exorcism is for high ground. And this tower will get chipped down. The Death Ball begins now. March of the Machines will clear off the creep wave. They're going to try to draw some safe box. They're going to Eul Scepter onto Ka. Can they bring him down in the kinetic field? They might be able to. He's going to turn his back, and it's hard to do damage when he has his back turned like that. But regardless, Faceless Void. You have the Chronosphere, zone out Ka, and kill off Sylvos. That's going to be 2 kills. Exorcism should now be popped. Yes, it will. Weehaw on the front lines with that Exorcism will annihilate that tier 1 tower slowly but surely. The Serpent Wards will slow this one down a little bit. But again, the sustain, well, it's not enough as Weehaw gets dropped pretty low. Has Eul Scepter if he needs it, does need it. Ka is going to buy back and run straight in. Missiles will continue to fly. The sustain, not yet enough on the Death Prophet. They need to back off for just a little while longer. The Serpent Wards proving to make this a little bit more difficult than it really should be. And Padrinho backs off. He's going to defend his bottom lane, make sure that they don't lose any unnecessary towers. And, well, they don't have Exorcism anymore. So they pull out the Serpent Wards, and they, well, they don't pull out a Roshan or anything like that. But they manage to force EUL's hand for just a little while longer, get a good amount of farm, get a couple kills, force a buyback from Bristleback. So you can't really be too unhappy about that if you are the BBC side. Going for top lane tier 2 will be a very, very easy pickup considering how easily they took down the mid tier 2 rather. And Death Prophet almost has a frickin' Bloodstone. Yeah, big items being picked up from the Death Prophet, and, well, Eunice is going to teleport his way out of there. Bloodstone, is it Bloodstone, or Bloodstone Casual Point Booster? Okay, I mean, that's fine. Going for Shiva, something like that on Necrophos, lots more AoE magic damage. Can't really fault him for that. It's a decent pickup, especially if you get it soon enough, which may or may not be the case. I mean, he's almost at that Mystic Staff, so lots of ints going his way soon enough. And Zenigata might be in a little trouble. He's in a pincer, and that's not where we want to be. There's the Weave to start things off. But actually, they're going to catch Levi. He has Borrowed Time, has a shield, and Mistcoil, so I don't really think they could get this kill. Glimpse back onto Ka. Yeah, that kill's not going to happen, but jump forward from Hockey. Going to catch only one with the Chronosphere. Once again, it's Silvos who gets the short end of the stick. Bale walks into it, and he's going to get the Hex onto Hockey, but I don't really know if that's what he wants to be doing right now. Another Time Walk from Hockey? No, just the Mask of Madness, and Weehaw coming in from the side with the Crypt Storm. Going to get the Silence onto Ka. They don't really have much lockdown unless they get a couple lucky bashes. Speaking of, Ka's going to be slowly worked down, and I mean slowly. Levi with the coil and shield can keep everyone alive. In the meantime, top lane is going to be pushed out by the Lycan, and he might be able to take down this tower. Buyback now from the Shadow Shaman. EULS, knowing that they might have to make a defense, but instead it's going to be Eunice on the run. He's going to get EULS sceptered up, but there's no real follow-up after this. He could even turn this one around and fight pretty decently against Weehaw. Tinker thinking about coming in, but Eunice shapeshift and try to just book a kinetic field. Will catch him right on the edge. He has the Aegis, so it's not really a terribly huge deal, but he does not have another shapeshift. He's going to come back in his regular form. He's going to try to get a kill on Levi with the Wolves, but Eunice has got to run. But he's getting body blocked, has a Quelling Blade, getting body blocked again, try to TP, Glimpse, and Eul's Scepter. Well, Glimpse actually breaks Eul's Scepter. I did not know that. Eunice going to try to chop his way out. Now going to try to run, but I think it might be a little bit too late. It will be too late. It's 2 kills on the Lycan after trying to push down that tower. Kinetic Field, the first one, stopping his escape, and, well, that's 16-3. EULS trying to get as much as they can from as many places as they can. Having a Lycan split push is usually going to result in a TP back at the very least, and it did. It resulted in a lot of people falling back. But now the crackback is here. There's 12 charges of Bloodstone on Death Prophet. Going to find Ka once again. Throw a couple Crypt Storms, not do too much damage because it's Bristleback. But Exorcism is up. Serpent Wards are up as well, however, so the defense can be there. And with Necrophos on bottom lane, kind of doing his own thing, I don't think this push is really going to go anywhere. And they can expend a Chronosphere if they really want to, but I don't think they should. They need Levi here. They need the Necrophos here. They got to get... GPM is pretty much the exact same as net worth, so I don't know why people say that it's not helpful. It's how much money they're getting. But regardless, yes, there you go. Net worth is there for everyone who wants it. Even though still no distinction. Looks like it's a push down on the bottom lane. Exorcism can and probably will be popped for this one. They're going to be walking into March and Missile Spam. Level 2 on the rearm, so Tinker's going to be able to put these out pretty quickly. And Sustain still will just keep pushing out. Weehaw, not yet popping that Exorcism. They're going to kill the creep wave pretty quickly, if anything else, if nothing else. In the meantime, top lane and mid lane are both pushing. In EULS, they're making sure that the BBC side don't get much from this. Serpent Wards will actually be deployed. We'll take down the tower, but there's the Exorcism and the jump forward from Maki, looking for a Chronosphere. Will land it, but the Eul's Scepter means that no beatdown just yet. Zella, can they bring him down? It doesn't look like it because Hockey gets hexed up. Zella will get scythed. There he goes. Padinho going to stay in the middle of everything with that Shivas and do so much damage. Bale going to get dropped. A glimpse back on someone else in the meantime. Is going to be Silvos going to try to TP out within his own base. Weehaw's sitting right outside of the fountain with that Exorcism up. 14 charges of Bloodstone. Doesn't give a damn. Meantime, Fortification will slow the Raxes down. Padrinho will have to be forced back to defend against that Lycan. In the meantime, the melee Rax is slowly getting brought down. Ka once again on the front lines. Weehaw will get juiced up back to full HP once the Exorcism Spirits return. They need more March, they need more missiles, but it's too late because the Raxes have been dropped, and now I think everyone from BBC have just got to book it. I mean, they don't have to. They could stay and fight and probably take a relatively even one. Link forward from Zeligan, lay down more and more March, but Ka, he's leading the charge, and I don't really think he has enough of what it takes. Eunice is here as well with Shapeshift, level 3 book, helping him push just a little bit better. Ka thinking about going in once again. Silvos with the Poison Touch. He's going to throw that one out. Heals on everyone, and Hockey's going to come in from the side. He's going to find Silvos once again. Wow, Silvos has been dropped every single time by Hockey. It sucks being a Dazzle. It really does. Rune being picked up by Death Prophet. meaning they could even go in again if they really want to. Again, they have infinite sustain with the heroes that they've picked up. Crushing gold lead and experience lead also kind of helps, you know. But it's, yeah. Might be mid lane. They took the melee racks of what they wanted, which is the bottom lane, so why not go for a second lane? Split the enemy and force them to do things that they would not like to do. An Aghanim Scepter up on Hockey. Top lane still being pushed out. I mean, all credit to EULS. They've been pushing pretty well, split pushing, in order to keep this fairly balanced. But now, no engagement. But you can only do that for so long, because at a certain point, this death ball of BBC is just going to tear through your base. And it looks like that tearing is going to happen very, very soon. Not quite level 3 Exorcism on Death Prophet. They're going to be forced to fight through this March, and I think they have a pipe. Yes, they do. So pipe on the creep wave will keep them alive for a little while longer, but Exorcism will unleash hell. Fortification is not up for the EULS side. Zenigod on the front lines will not get ward trapped. He's going to look for a glimpse, but he doesn't have vision. So Kinetic Fields, Static Storm wasted. And, well, Death Prophet's still going to work down these Serpent Wards very slowly, very surely. Meantime, bottom lane's pushed out, but Hockey actually takes down a kill solo on the top lane. Liking gets dropped. He was split pushing all the while. Weehawk going to jump right in for Bale. That's going to be one. Sylvos might be another. Going to get Scythe. That's definitely going to be another. Necrophos on the front lines. Can't really do anything about him and Weehaw, both with the Abaddon right behind him, sustaining them throughout all of this. They find themselves an angle to attack this tower, and this should be this tier 3 tower at the very least. Tinker needs to be here to drop more things, but he gets instantly thrown up into the air. No Scythe or anything like that. Silence misses as well. Zella dropping very low very quickly. Another Scythe, or another Cryptstorm will do him in, but it looks like he'll get glimpsed back, and the Skull is going to kill him from Necrophos. And, well, that's it. GG has been called. EULS. I mean, they hang on for a lot longer than I really expected, but at a certain point, you can't stop the death ball. So that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. The best of 2 is going to conclude with BBC taking it 2-0 over the EULS side, and I think that should be it for today. If you enjoyed this, then be sure to follow the stream. It's twitch.tv/Mike Loris, and the same thing on Twitter as well.